Oh, family, what can I say? Speaking into existence, I've been pounding the table for this man to come back to the team all year long, and he is back. Keenan Allen is back with the Chargers. So let's discuss what it's going to mean for the team in 2025. Let's get into it. The end of that intro hits harder than it's ever had in Chargers land on this young day of Wednesday, August the 6th. Keenan Allen, ladies and gentlemen, is back in the Chargers uniform, man. What more can you say? It is a great day. It's been a great 24 hours up to this point that Keenan Allen has re-signed with the team right before practice on Tuesday night. 1 year, $8 million deal. He is back. The Chargers have their bona fide outside number one receiver back in the building, man. One of the greats of all time in Chargers history. Man, listen, it is a great day. It is a great day. And when that news broke around 8 o'clock-ish Eastern Standard Time for me, all I could do is one thing. Big yes. Shout out to Thor. Big yes. That was my literal reaction when I saw the news drop from Adam Schefter, Daniel Popper, Rappaport, everybody that dropped the news. It was great. And I love how Daniel Popper teased it. It was great. He teased it well because he saw DJU come out and his jersey was changed. Because you know he'd been wearing 13. And everybody's saying, well, it must be over. Keenan ain't coming back. They let the backup quarterback wear 13. It must be done, right? He comes out in 7 in the yellow jersey. Daniel Popper got the big eyes open like, what's going on? He got a different jersey. And lo and behold, right as Daniel Popper tweeted that, the news broke that Keenan Allen signed back with the team for $8 million for the year. Listen, man, I have been pounding the table hard. Like, my table should be broken at this point. That as hard I've been pounding the table for him to come back. And he is back, man. I couldn't be more excited. I really can. And I have a totally different outlook on how this offense is going to look now that he's in the building than it looked 24 hours ago. I was hopeful and I was very optimistic about how it was going to be much better than last year. Hell, it had to be better than last year just by adding Kendra and Trey, right? Omarion as well, Oronde as well. So you had 4 new weapons there that had to be better. But to add a proven vet, a guy that is unguardable in a lot of spaces one-on-one, and to be able to beat man coverage in this league, press man coverage in this league is an underrated skill. If you have that ability in this league, you do better things on offense, period. So let's talk about exactly what his signing means, how much he got, what does it mean for the offense, what does it mean for wide receiver room real quick, and then we'll just break it down like that, and we'll decide exactly how much of an impact this is going to have in the season coming in 3 to 4 weeks. So, man, so starting off, like I said, he's back in the building. He's in the building, man. It's 1 year deal. The Chargers, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff broke the news. He is back in the Chargers uniform. Number 13 is back. And rightfully so, right for the good uniforms. He came back right for the good uniform time. You want to see him in the Navy jersey? You're going to see him in the yellow. Oh, God. We'll see him in the blue pants. It's going to be good, man. Navy helmet for him. We ain't seen, anything Navy like that down since he was back in San Diego. Oh, man, it's a good time to be a fan. It really is a good time to be alive, man. I couldn't be happier for this move, man. I'm over the moon. I really am. So, like I said, he came back for a 1 year deal. I was kind of hoping it would be a 2 year deal. I think 2 years will be prime time, if he wants to play that long, to really help and mold the wide receiver room with the young guys with Trey and Keandre. Man, but I'll take what I can get. And maybe we can rediscuss another year after he gets through this season. But I'm praying for his health. I'm praying for his stability and hope that he can lead this team to big time moves in 2025, man. So like I said, it's a 1 year deal, 8.52 $1 million, it's a good salary. I saw somebody tweet, one of the Chargers fans that I follow, when we follow each other on Twitter, say that that's the best $8 million spent in this economy in 2025. And I totally agree. I totally agree. Best $8 million spent in this season. This might be the best signing that they had. In all honesty, from a free agency perspective, they had him Mekhi Becton, and assuming Mekhi Becton pans out now, he's been on the sideline a few days. He hadn't practiced, so hopefully he won't have any long-term lingering issues with him. But between him and Mekhi Becton, those are the slam dunk free agency signings for me. Absolutely, positively, man. Love the move. Can't wait to see him in practice. I really can't. Now they're off today, so we won't get to see him till at least Thursday in a jersey. But I can't wait for that practice early Thursday to see him come out out of the tunnel, come out of the bolt for the first time, and just bring all the vibes back to the room, man. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So, so what does this signing mean? What is this going to look like? What is his role going to be? How he's going to fit into the offense? What he's going to mean for Justin Herbert? It's a lot of things to discuss real quick. I mean, it's not elongated, but it's definitely a lot things that have changed. When it comes down to the offense. So, like I said, with the Mike Williams retirement, the sudden retirement, you were kind of fishing for, who could be that veteran presence, right? And what better than Keenan Allen? I argued that they should have brought back Keenan. No disrespect to Mike. I argued they should have brought back Keenan before they brought back Mike, and it just happened. The chips happened to fall that way. Because I think Keenan's more versatile. He can play multiple positions. He can play X, Y, and Z from a receiver perspective. He can line up everywhere. So I think that he's more versatile in a bigger time weapon, especially from a route running perspective as well. So I think that he's definitely the move and definitely the one we ended up with, and I'm very happy about it. So what is going to be for the offense? So I do believe that you're looking at him being number one. I think that the number 2 spot is up for grabs. I think that Trey Harris, Keandre Lambert-Smith, and Quentin Johnston, who I'll talk about in a minute, will be fighting for that number 2 spot. It's just a matter of who's going to have the better. I think it's a race between now and the start of the regular season, week 1 against the Chiefs. Who's going to get that role? I will argue that Keandre is leading the pack right now based on his moves in camp, but I definitely think that it's a 3-man race for that. Obviously, Ladd is a slot. That's not going anywhere. He's definitely locked that in. That's not even a question. So, and to kind of calm the gills of people that saying that Keenan's going to take snaps away from Ladd in the slot. I don't believe that's the case. I think Greg Roman can utilize both of them in different aspects, different perspectives. So, and I think Keenan is very well I guess you can say proven in the sense where he can play outside exclusively and win outside. And that's what you're going to need. For those guys playing press man on the outside, he needs to be isolated, and they're going to try to play, backside man on him and things of that nature. We'll try to isolate him one-on-one with their best corner. He can win and win glowingly. So I haven't seen a whole lot of corners that can keep up with him, at the top of his route. So I would argue that, Greg Roman will likely utilize Keenan more so as an outside receiver, the X, receiver in those positions, and let Ladd work in the slot. Ladd can't play outside, but I think he'll likely utilize him in the slot. And with having Keandre Lambert-Smith now with his speed, is going to add even another dimension to this offense, which I'm loving. So I do believe that he's going to probably be, primarily outside. He will mix and match. They all will move around because they all want to get stale and get predictable, right? In a sense where you don't want to say that I'm always going to know where Keenan's going to be at. I'm always going to know where Ladd is, and so on and so forth. You don't want that. All you want is to be guessing all game. In all honesty, you wanted to be guessing all game, and I'm going to move these guys around and put them in different positions so you don't know exactly what we're doing in any given moment. So I think this is a complete and utter win for the offense, and I think the offense got tremendously better by adding him to this room. And speaking of the wide receiver room in itself, the wide receiver room looks a lot better than it did 24 hours ago just by him coming in. So Keenan is there, Ladd, Darius Davis, Trey Harrison, Keandre Lambert-Smith, and Quentin Johnston. So you've got 5 receivers, 6, if you count Darius Davis, is big because he's more of a punt returner, but he does play a little bit of receiver. You got 5 bona fide receivers and a punt returner / gadget guy that you can use in different spaces and different plays. So this room is looking real formidable now. I like it a lot better than I did 24 hours ago. And don't get me wrong, I'm not disrespecting Keandre and Trey because they've been balling in practice. And Keandre balled in the preseason game, but they are rookies, so to have that calming veteran presence to get things done and be able to win on third down, which Keenan made a living at a full career at winning on third down and getting first downs. You need that. And until they get comfortable with that role, which is going to take time, honestly, it's just going to take time. Not to say they can't do it, it just will take time. And I think that if they're allowed to be able to have the pressure off of them and just learn and get comfortable with the offense, to get comfortable with adjusting in real game speed and get number one corners and defenses, I think that's a complete and utter best case scenario for the Chargers offense. I really do. So with that being said, I really love this room now. You got a bona fide slot, you got a bona fide outside, you got two budding superstars in Harris and Lambert Smith. And the only question mark to me, in all honesty, is Quentin Johnston. And I think this is another signal to him that they don't have confidence in him, that they want to depend on him as being a key contributor in this offense. If he can contribute, he can. If he can't, oh well, we can still move on and still be productive, right? Because you're not only factoring in their production from the other four, with the rookies, Ladd and Keenan, but you also the tight ends. You got Tyler Conklin, you got Will Dissly and Aranda Gaskins. So especially from Aranda Gaskins' perspective, because he's a bona fide receiver, that's another weapon. And then you look at Amari Henry coming out of the backfield, Naeem Hines coming out of the backfield. It's definitely looking up from offensive weapon perspective. They have completely and utterly changed the weaponry and the lack of weaponry that Justin Herbert did not have in a year ago. So I love what they're doing. Like I said, the only question mark is Quentin Johnston. And I would argue that depending on how he looks in camp and how he progresses throughout the training camp, if there's a trade suitor and you have another need, because what we're going to talk about the interior O-line this week, because Harbaugh said he was set on who's going to be the starters on the O-line, which I've got my questions about. But if that's the case and there's somebody out there to be had that's going to be a trade piece at the end of camp and you can trade Quentin Johnston away, they might do it. They might do it based upon what they've acquiring Keenan Allen coming in for this 1 year. So I don't know. Maybe they keep him, maybe they don't. But I think there's definitely a lot of smoke signals in the air to say that they don't have confidence in Quentin Johnston's ability to be consistent. Not necessarily can he do certain things well, just being consistent and being a good catcher when you really, really need him to make a good catch. So we'll see how things flow. But man, I can speak an hour on this topic about Keenan coming back. I love it. We'll speak about it, more and more as the time goes on. But I would just want to see him in a jersey, pray for his health, pray for everybody's health. We just need to stay healthy. If this team rolls out the way I want them to roll out in September, they should hit the ground running and be running well. So I like what they're doing here, man. Again, I love how the front office not sitting on their hands and not making moves when they need to make moves. So there's definitely a regime change, and it's definitely one that's been positive and been paying off so far. So, man, so let me know in the comments how you feel about this particular move, man. I see it's absolute win for me. I'm completely happy. I got my notification set for Keenan Allen's jersey to be reset on NFL Shop. The moment it comes in, I need a fresh one because my other one's kind of raggedy. So I need a new jersey. Got to get it. And once I get it, we're going to be rocking it. So, man, let me know in the comments how you feel about Keenan Allen coming back, man, and how you feel about the offense now that he's in-house. So, as always, man, hit that subscribe button and let the YouTube algorithm know we're doing big things out there. And like I said, we'll be back, tomorrow with another video in regards to the O-lines. We're going to talk about that. And I got some things to address in that particular aspect as well. But like I said, hit that sub, drop a comment, drop a like. And remember, man, with Keenan Allen in the back, you definitely got to remember to boat up.